Tuesday night. They are now 14-1 this season with Tracy McGrady scores more than 30 points. Tonight, T-Mac will need another great effort in order to beat the high-flying Suns. It's the Rockets and Suns, and it starts right now on your Rockets pregame. And there is the man himself, T-Mac, getting off the bus in Phoenix, relaxed, confident. Why not? Coming off a 35-point performance, King Victory Key Arena, hoping to do the same tonight.
At the America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, that is the Valley of the Sun. That is the Valley of the Winds thus far this season. The Suns have lost only 7 at home. With the second-best home record in the Western Conference, you know the Suns are ready for action tonight. How's it going inside the FSN studios? I'm John Radigan. She is Dana Larson, and we are here to get you ready for the Rockets and the Suns. It's game 2 of 4 in a row on the road, 4 in a row out west for the Rockets. They've won 2 straight, both against teams ahead of them in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it has not been an easy week. Since Sunday, the schedule included Dallas, Seattle, and now Phoenix, but so far nothing but wins. So the team in a pretty good mood in Phoenix. That's where we take you now, where Jeff Hagedorn is standing by. And Jeff, of course, you remember the name Bobby Sura? Of course you do. He has been gone but not forgotten. What's the latest with Bobby?
Well, I'm happy to report that Bobby's back is feeling better, Dana, and therefore Bobby is back. He was activated earlier today after missing 7 games due to inflammation of scar tissue in his back. Rockets lost 4 of those 7 games. As you know, they are 26-11 this year with him as a starter, and he will be back in the starting lineup tonight, so that is the good news. Moochie Norris, meantime, he goes on IR with that dreaded NBA injury, plantar fasciitis. I have a feeling Moochie's going to be okay. Also, Sean Marion, sore right knee. We're just learning about this. Happened earlier today, so Sean Marion will not play in this ball game tonight. Rockets catch a break there. And one other injury note, Rockets point guard Charlie Ward, who's been rehabilitating after right knee surgery most of the season, has developed a blood clot in his calf. Now, he'll be on blood thinners for about 3 to 4 months. He won't be able to go through any contact during that period, so obviously he's done for the season and then some, but Charlie will be able to resume rehabilitation fairly shortly on a limited basis. All right, so now you're caught up on all the injuries. And guys, it's going to be a track meet here tonight. I've got my track shoes on. Hopefully you've got yours on too. Should be a lot of fun here in Phoenix.
All right, Jeff, we are lacing them up as we speak. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later on.
Okay, so how does that 6-point quarter rank this season? Believe it or not, it only ties the Sonics for the worst quarter of the season. The Cavs and Sixers each had 6-point quarters. Boy, that 6-point first quarter by the Sixers must have been a beauty of a game. The Pacers scored only 7 in the second quarter of a game also this year. So bad quarters in the NBA this year.
So, of course, the playoffs don't start today, but if they did, here's the playoff picture. Spurs would be the top seed in the West. They have the exact same record as the Suns, but own the season series now 2-1. Seattle just a half game back, rather 5 games back, I believe there. And then it is the Mavs in 4th with the Kings right on their heels. Houston and Memphis separated by just a small margin. That's the difference between 6 and 7. Lakers, Denver, Minnesota in a big-time battle for the 8th and the final spot. Inside America West Arena, they are counting down to tip off just under 20 minutes until it is the Suns and the Rockets.
Welcome back to the Rockets pregame. The Rockets have their work cut out for them tonight, as you know, facing a team that averages nearly 111 points a game. Now, the Rockets average holding their opponents to just under 92 points a game, so this should be a pretty good matchup.
Certainly will, and to help us get ready for the second of 4 meetings between the Rockets and the Suns this season, we venture inside that arena and join Bill Worrell and Van Chancellor in the Valley of the Sun. Good evening, guys.
Yeah, Dana, how are you? Looking forward to tonight's game. It should be interesting. You know, Van, coming on this road trip, I was looking forward to it to find out how the Rockets would match up against the elite teams in the league. Now, they upset Seattle. Now they got a chance to do the same to Phoenix here tonight.
I think the Rockets right now, great test. They passed it in Seattle, as you said. Now here's another opportunity. It's going to be half-court offense, versus full court offense tonight.
Yeah, they do score 111 points a game, but they give up 103. So you can score at the other end if you can get it up the court. The good news for Houston, the bad news for the Suns would be that Shawn Marion will not play tonight. He has a leg contusion, so that may be a break for Houston. But this Suns team, with Shawn Marion and with Stoudemire and Steve Nash, have really turned this thing around. Look at what they did last year at this time compared to this year. And they really made some good trades, didn't they?
Yeah, wonderful trades, but the biggest one of them all is Steve Nash. When you think about a 27-game turnaround from last year, averaging almost 17 more points, and here's why. Here's what Nash can bring to the table. He's got his head up, running down the floor. He's shooting 50% from the outside. Now watch this penetration and dish. He just sees the floor as well as anybody I've seen play the basketball game in a long, long time, Bill.
I know you've told me you must stop the ball, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, he's very difficult to stop the ball with because he's so fast, he's so quick, he makes so many good decisions, and that's what the Rockets had to do, stop Steve Nash out on the floor.
Now, 3 years ago, the Rockets won the lottery. They got the #1 pick, and they selected Yao Ming. Now, that wasn't so unusual. I mean, a guy 7'6" with his talents, you would like Yao Ming. Amari Stoudemire went 8 teams before Phoenix picked him up with the 9th selection in the first round.
I really love Houston's pick. I thought Yao Ming was a tremendous pick, but the pick of the whole draft in my mind is Stoudemire. Can you believe it? Right now, if you pick 9th, you're averaging 26 points a game. But Yao Ming is getting better and better each and every game. The fourth quarter, his field goal percentage has been high. Watch it. I think it's his agility around the basket. He's able to dunk it. He's able to move. Watch his little spin move the other night against Seattle. What a play. I think you look at him, and then Stoudemire, what he's done is added a 15-foot jump shot. Look at this guy now. You got a guy that's that height, but watch this dunk. He had 9 dunks in a game. No wonder he's 4th or 2nd in field goal percentage. All of his shots are dunks. He don't miss any of those.
Well, they really take a lot of pressure off the point guard. And Bobby Sura is back tonight. So Sura is in for tonight's game, and Shawn Marion is out.
Time for our stat of the night over the last 6 weeks or so. How about the Rockets playing at the same level as the high-flying Suns? The Rockets, of course, had 9 new players on the season, on the roster at the beginning of the season. And once the chemistry sort of gelled, the Rockets have been playing.
Welcome back, and just so nobody thinks I'm a liar.
Yeah,
there you go.
It is.
John
and
Radigan.
So we pull back the curtain. Not tux and tennies, but, nice suit up here.
That's right.
Jeff Hagedorn said put your track shoes on.
It is going to be a game
I thought I'd better
tonight.
get my track shoes on. And away we go. Now if I can get back down,
Has
we'll
to be
good.
flexible as well. He's going to stretch coming up in a little bit. It is the second game of an important 4-game road trip tonight. After tonight, it's Golden State for the Rockets and then Sacramento on back-to-back nights, Sunday and Monday. Maybe former Warrior Bob Sura will be healthy enough to play against his former team as well.
They sure hope so. The loss of Sura has this team changing in many different ways. The trade deadline trade that they made to get Mike James was in large part due to the fact that they didn't have an adequate backup to Sura. But Bob is back and is standing by with Jeff Hagedorn.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Bobby, welcome back. How you feeling?
Well, thank you. It's good to be back. I'm feeling okay. Back's doing okay, but I've been out over 3 weeks already. Only had a couple practice sessions, so it's going to kind of be trial by fire.
It's always difficult to have to sit out due to an injury, but I would think it was even more frustrating for you because of the fact that you were playing your best basketball of this season when you got hurt.
Yeah, I was on quite a roll, and the team was as well, having won 8 in a row, and it was kind of frustrating to have to sit out and go through it and watch some aches and pains by the team, but hopefully we'll get it all together here for a stretch run.
Keith Jones, Rockets trainer, always has his hands full trying to keep guys from coming back too soon, but I'm guessing he really had his hands full with you because of your competitive nature.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with them putting me on the injured list when they had to make the trades, but it's probably the best thing for me, give me a little bit more rest, and so I don't rush and go out there and do something silly.
All right, now what's the plan for tonight in terms of minutes, starting, and what kind of adjustments do you expect you'll have to make?
Well, Jeff and I talked. We really don't have a plan. I'll start the game, and we'll kind of go from there on how it's going. If it's going well, and I'll be more minutes. Obviously, if not playing as well, get a little tired, and maybe shorter minutes. So we're going to kind of do it by the way it goes.
While you were out, the team acquired Mike James from Milwaukee just prior to the trade deadline. He'll go to the bench now, but you really have a nice 4-guard rotation, very potent 4-guard rotation on this team.
Yeah, Mike's really going to help us. It's definitely an upgrade from our backups we've had here all year long. He's a good scorer. He's able to put points on the board. So, again, we're going to try to put it all together here for the stretch run.
you have to love the NBA. You sit out, like you said, a couple of weeks, you miss 7 games, and it's like they say, well, hey, welcome back. Here's Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns. Good luck.
Yeah, there's better games to come back for it in an up-and-down team like this with a guy like Steve Nash who's going 100 miles an hour the whole night. But no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to go out there, lay it on the line, and try to get a victory.
But a little bit of momentum, I would think, coming off that big win in Seattle, right?
Yeah, huge win for us up there in Seattle. Tough, good team on the road for us. A great win, and hopefully we'll continue here tonight against another good team.
Bob, there's no question the team missed you. Welcome back, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that's Bobby Sura, guys. Rockets and the Suns coming up from America West. Moochie's here, too, and we'll throw it back to you.
Coming up, there is a whole posse of Yao Ming fans in the Valley of the Sun. They are ready for the Rockets. They are ready for Yao, and we are too. The next Rockets game on FSN is Monday. As the Rockets are at the Warriors, we've got a 9 o'clock pregame show for that one and a late Busch Light Southwest Sports Report. Enjoy the game, everyone. We'll see you then.
Tonight, the defensive-minded Rockets blast off against the run-and-gun Suns. Phoenix has risen to the top of the NBA with 47 wins, while Houston has launched into playoff contention with improved play since February. Next, the Rockets try to set the high-flying Suns in Phoenix. Live from America West Arena in the Valley of the Sun, Fox Sports Net presents Houston Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets take on the high-flying Phoenix Suns. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us as the Rockets continue this road trip. And we said at the outset, this would really give us a good idea of what kind of team the Houston Rockets have heading into April. Well, we found out in Seattle as they upset the Sonics, but this is another tough team as they take on the Phoenix Suns, a team that's averaging 111 points a game. And coming in here tonight, Van Chancellor, this is going to be another way for the Rockets to show they belong with the big boys.
They passed the first test in Seattle. Test number 2 is tonight. I like the way this team is playing, especially with Bobby Sura back in the lineup.
Well, with Bobby back in the lineup now, that gives the Rockets their trigger man. We know about Steve Nash. He's the trigger man for Phoenix.
Yeah, these are two different type of point guard. Bobby Sura does it with inspiration. He's such a tenacious player. And then Nash does it by running the team, scoring, and running the break.
Yeah, they really do a great job there. And inside, it will be Yao Ming and Amari Stoudemire. And those two guys right now are lighting up the league. They were number 1 and number 9 3 years ago in the draft.
Usually the great matchups involve somebody with Tracy. Tonight is the matchup as we watch Yao take the ball to the basket. That's what he's doing. Better. Watch that little spin move. But this is a tremendous matchup with an improving player. Where is he improved at? With his outside shot. Look at this 15-footer. But then what I like next is this sure play. He doesn't miss many of those. He had 9 in the game the other night, Bill.
Seems like he gets 20, 25 dunks a game. And of course, Tracy McGrady has been playing so great lately, but the last time these two teams met back in Houston, Quentin Richardson did a pretty good job on T-Mac. Richardson's another addition Phoenix has made. He adds a lot to their team.
He adds a lot to it, but you watch T-Mac right now. He's playing very well. 35 against Seattle. That's them. Inside, outside, and everywhere. But Richardson right now is going to guard him. That's a tough matchup. Richardson is shooting the ball well from outside. He then takes a charge the other night against San Antonio and gets hurt. I didn't know if it was that big a problem. In the playoffs, he'd have been able to play. A little bump on your head, you got to play.
Well, he has 182 threes already this season. That'll get him back out on the court. It's time now for the Toyota Power keys to the game.
I think the number 1 key tonight is transition defense. Not only have you got to stop Nash, you got to go to the three-point line and find their shooters. Then if you want to stop transition, the Rockets can't have but about 12 or 13 turnovers. And then Yao Ming has to be a big-time factor. They don't have anybody to guard him. Go to him not only in the fourth quarter, but early in the game and throughout the game.
Stop the ball. Is that what you have to do first?
You don't stop the ball. There's going to be an L late on the Rockets tonight.
All right. We should have a good one here in the Valley of the Sun. The Rockets and the Suns coming up next on FSN. Again, everybody, and welcome back to America West Arena in Phoenix as we get ready for basketball as the Houston Rockets at 35-25 will take on the Phoenix Suns at 47-14. Here tonight's Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Houston Rockets. Tracy McGrady, Juwan Howard, Yao Ming, David Wesley, and Bob Sura is back in the Houston lineup starting tonight. For the Phoenix Suns, Sean Marion will be out due to an injury. So they will be, they'll have Stephen Hunter in at center along with Amari Stoudemire, Quentin Richardson, Joe Johnson, and the speedy Steve Nash. So we should have a good one from the Valley of the Sun. Jim Jackson, who started the season in Houston, now playing for Phoenix. We'll be back with a tip-off in just a moment on FSN. Back to America West Arena for tonight's action. Phoenix Suns #1 in the Pacific Division, 47-14 against the Rockets, third place team in the Southwest Division at 35-25. Let's go to Jeff Hagedorn.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. You know, obviously the Rockets don't want to have to rely on Tracy McGrady scoring over 30 points a night on a regular basis, but the irony is so far this season when he has done so, good things have happened for the Houston Rockets. As a matter of fact, so far this season, the Rockets are 16-2 when McGrady scores 30-plus and 14-1 when he scores over 30. The only loss coming when he put up 48 on Dallas the same night that Dirk Nowitzki scored 53. The perfect example of what I'm talking about, Tuesday night in Seattle. McGrady tallied 11 of his game-high 35 in the fourth quarter, and the Rockets went on to beat the Sonics 97-95. But, Bill, you mentioned this, and I agree wholeheartedly. Let's give Yao Ming some credit now. He scored 10 of his 22 in the fourth quarter of that game as well on Tuesday night, and when T-Mac and Yao both get it going, the Rockets are pretty much unbeatable.
Well, you're right about that, Jeff. And on the other side, conversely, Phoenix is 18-4 this season when Amari Stoudemire scores 30 or more points. So those are the two guns that really make them go. Mike D'Antoni, what a job he has done. His second year here in Phoenix. He coached briefly in Denver, won only 14 games with meager talent. But when he came over here, Brian Colangelo said, let's get you some players. They went out and got Steve Nash, Quentin Richardson. Nash has been the man to make it go. D'Antoni, years of service in Italy. He was won 4 European championships. He loves the run and gun, Coach, and he lets his players play.
Yes, he played that as a player and then as a coach. That's what he likes to do, and he has the ability to let them take some bad shots, make some turnovers, and still play ball.
Yeah, he said one time, and I've always remembered this, D'Antoni said, players don't really try to turn the ball over. He said that just happens, you know, and you've got to let them play. If you feel they're responsible enough, let them have their heads.
This team is 6th in turnovers and running the ball. That's an amazing stat.
Phoenix averages 111 points a game. That's #1 in the NBA, but they give up 103 points a game, and that's dead last. So they'll let you score. They'll just try to outscore you. The Rockets win the tip. Sura will have it on the outside. Good to see Bobby back. Rockets much better when he's in the lineup.
That's why he's much better. You see what he just attempted to do? He tried to go to Yao Ming early. That's one of the things I think we've missed without Bobby in the lineup.
Rockets have been turning it over less frequently here in the last few games. They're now up to number 14 in the league in fewest turnovers. There's a turnover by Phoenix. T-Mac will have it. He's got Wesley on the far wing. Gives it up instead to Juwan Howard. So the Rockets will set up the offense. Sean Marion not playing tonight, as we told you earlier. He has a contusion to his knee. Tried to loosen up. It would not get loose. Wesley puts it up and in for the three.
Phoenix decided they're going to double Yao inside. That leaves Wesley on the weak side wide open.
Rockets are number 10 in the NBA in three-point shooting at 36%. There's a steal by Wesley, and that will be converted to a layup. Wesley's getting him 2 or 3 steals every game.
Listen, he's doing it with great defensive play. He's having to always guard the tough player. Look at Nash. That's who he's guarding tonight.
And he forced a bad pass by Nash. Rockets knock it out of bounds.
And that's what you have to do. Make Phoenix make mistakes. Just don't assume they're going to make plays. Get in and defend them.
As we said, Marion out of tonight's game. He averages 19 points, 11 rebounds a game. That's a lot to take out of your lineup. And they are not a deep team, Phoenix. They did make a deal for Jim Jackson. Wesley almost gets another steal. And Bobby goes for the steal. Stoudemire has to shoot it over Yao Ming, and Yao made him change his shot. And I think it's interesting when Stoudemire has matched up with Yao, he has not shot the ball very well.
That 7'6" height, I think, really bothers him. Watch Tracy back down and determined to make a double team.
Nash in the open court where he's so dangerous. To Hunter. And Wesley strips the ball out of bounds. Boy, his hands are quick.
I think Nash will have problems. Watch this break right now. See that Wesley goes in and just strips Hunter. Hunter's 7 feet tall, but look at him run the floor.
Hunter out of DePaul University in his 4th NBA campaign, and they say he has really improved with this style of basketball here coming off the bench. They play without a true center. They said rather than try to play a Jake Boskel or a Hunter or somebody of that nature, they went out to get a quick team. D'Antoni wanted to move Stoudemire to center, and they're ultra quick with that lineup.
Yes, and what they do, this puts Marion at the 4, usually Stoudemire at the 5, and what matchup problems, because Marion is a 3-player, Stoudemire's a 4-player.
All right, Nash will bring it in. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Suns. Joe Johnson, almost a forgotten man here. And Yao may have changed that shot a little bit, Coach. Wesley is open. Wesley will fire it. Wesley will miss. Quentin Richardson gives it up to Nash. Nash quickly to Stoudemire. He'll pull it up, and he's fouled on the play by Tracy McGrady.
Bill, you got to be really careful tonight if you're Houston with quick shots, because quick shots allows them to come out.
The officials for tonight's game, Greg Willard, Bill Kennedy, and Gary Zielinski. Zielinski, Kennedy, and Willard, the officials for tonight's game.
See, when you shoot the ball quick, you got to make it, because if you don't, they get the long rebound, and then they're in transition defense. But I think the defensive strategy tonight is to allow Stoudemire to shoot outside. Yao's not going to let him get to the hole.
Amari Stoudemire made his first All-Star appearance this year, and well-deserved. 26 points a game, 8 rebounds, and averaging almost 2 blocks. The only NBA player ranked in the top 10 in points and field goal percentage. Juwan Howard misses. Richardson with the rebound. Steve Nash will fire up a 3 and hit it. Phoenix is number 1 in the NBA in three-point shooting at 39%. And the Suns have made 567 threes already. Sura misses, and Juwan Howard gets a fresh 24 for Houston. Sura pulls up this time. He's short on the shot. Yao tips it outside to Wesley. Juwan down to Yao. Yao gets a shove in the back, puts it up and in anyway. Boy, Hunter just fouled him all over the place, and he still made it.
I think that's what the Rockets got to do. Quit looking for the outside shot. Go inside to Yao. Make them defend Yao Ming first.
And Stoudemire lost the ball, and another turnover.
You know, the next difference is you look at it. Now watch this play right here. They go inside, Yao gets it down low, and then they have nobody to defend it. But the thing I like about Hunter in the game, this gives Yao a different matchup sometimes. He now can defend Hunter instead of having to defend Stoudemire.
Bobby looks inside to Yao Ming. Yao wants the ball. He's got it, and he's pushed from behind. That was almost a tackle. Foul is called on Hunter. What are they booing about?
They thought he fell down, but I think Coach Van Gundy got that call. Last call, he told the ref, he said, you got pushed in the back this time when they come up. And I mean, that was a blatant push. You see it inside. When he's in the air, you can't push a guy up like that. Even I could make that call.
McGrady gets a pick from Juwan Howard. Back to Juwan at the top of the key. Wesley will turn it over to Sura now. Sura will give it up to Juwan. Stoudemire giving him a little room. Howard with that little jump hook shot. Got it up. Yao Ming missed the tip. Rockets leading by 2 here in the early moments. Nash, beautiful play, and Richardson tipped in his miss.
So that's why you've got to get back, recognize who you're guarding, and make the switch defensively, because they run so fast, and Nash is not afraid to throw the ball anywhere at any time.
T-Mac backing it in on Johnson, and he misses. In the first game between these two, Tracy shot only 8 of 25. Richardson, he's the gunner. Stoudemire blocked by Yao Ming. Quickly to Wesley. Wesley takes it to the middle, and he's fouled by Richardson. How about that Yao Ming patrolling inside the paint defensively?
I think that this has been a change for him in the last 2 weeks. Not only has he blocked shots, he's altered so many shots. Everybody now realizes he's a better shot blocker. They're looking for him, and they're missing easy shots because of his defensive presence.
Coach Stoudemire, against all the teams in the league, is averaging almost 52% from the field, his shooting percentage. But against Houston, Yao Ming specifically, he's averaging only 34%, and that is a huge difference.
Yeah, but if you're 7'6" and you're Stoudemire, he's 6'10", you're looking up. That's hard to shoot over.
You're right. All you got to do is think about it, don't you?
See, tall players sometimes don't go against other tall players, and when they do, this hurts them in their offensive thought process. They're so used to dominating.
9-7 Houston. Nash takes it to the middle. Stoudemire back outside. You've really got to guard the perimeter on this Suns team. Taking it inside. Richardson misses the shot. Yao Ming with the rebound. He's fouled by Joe Johnson. And it's a good thing Johnson fouled Yao Ming because Sura was all alone sprinting the other way.
Yeah, if they don't foul Yao Ming, Rockets shoot a layup on the other end with David West and Bobby Sura out.
That's the third team foul on the Suns.
I love the start for this game. When you're on the road, you've won one big game, you're waiting, you want a great start in this game.
T-Mac outside, taking it down to Yao Ming. Yao has to catch it. Now he's got it behind the back. Juwan over to Wesley. Wesley for a three. Boy, some kind of action, and Yao Ming kept that ball alive. And Wesley finished it off, and David off to a terrific start. That's going to be another turnover by Phoenix. That's 4 turnovers by the Phoenix Suns.
You watch Yao Ming just hustle, though. You 7'6", down on the floor, throwing it behind your back. What a play.
David Wesley now with 10 points already in this game. 10 of the 12 by Houston. T-Mac raises up and hits. Rockets up by 7. Biggest lead of the game for Houston. Joe Johnson on the perimeter. There's another steal. McGrady gets it over to Wesley. Wesley to T-Mac to the rack. So the Rockets now have scored 8 points in a row, and they take the lead 16-7. Phoenix calls a timeout. It's 16-7 Houston. Let's take a look at tonight's Polaroid picture-perfect shot. And, Coach, I know you love these kind because they're automatic.
Because when you see the lob go up to the T-man, picture-perfect already here in the first quarter. We're a little ahead of ourselves tonight, guys. Way to work.
Rockets on a 9-0 run now to take this lead. And Wesley with 1 steal already. 2 steals for McGrady. 10 points for Wesley, 4 for T-Mac, and 2 for Yao Ming.
The Rockets are doing it on defense. You might think that they're doing it on offense with 16 points this early, but they're doing it with great defensive pressure and steals.
Stoudemire shoots it over Yao Ming, and a foul on Yao. Doesn't have to do that. I think really Stoudemire looks to me, Coach, like he's rushing his shot to get it over Yao.
Yeah, he's trying to shoot the basketball before Yao blocks it. Yao needs to just stay there with defensive pressures with his arms up and do not get in foul trouble because he's going to be the factor in this game before it's over with.
Stoudemire at his 26.3 points per game has the highest scoring average by a third-year player since Vince Carter. Managed 27 points back in the 2000-2001 season.
But where I think he's very good, he gets to the free throw line a lot. If you figure it on 48 minutes, he's there 12.8 times a game.
Yeah.
He just shoots a lot of free throws.
A lot of free throws and a lot of dunk shots. Pretty good percentage. Bobby Sura wants to get a pick. Richardson gets around it easily, but that sets up Wesley on the wing. And I'll tell you what, they're giving that up, and Wesley's taking all he wants. That's the second 3 for David. He's got 13 points.
They're doubling everywhere with Tracy and Yao. David West is making the Suns pay for it right now.
Walter McCarty in the game now. They picked him up from Boston for the trading deadline. Stoudemire trying to set a pick. Yao's out chasing Nash. Look at that. In the corner to Walter. And he hits a three-pointer.
That's amazing to me. Checking the game, cold, outside your first shot. It's a three ball. What a play.
And 6'10", too. Juwan Howard hits the jumper. As Tommy Heinsohn used to say, I love Walter. Stoudemire. Big move on Yao. Good body positioning, but Stoudemire got it up and over. Yao Ming.
They're going to let Stoudemire face the basket, pull him out so he don't have to play with his back to the basket against Yao. Good move.
Juwan with a nice little fake back to Bobby. Bobby turns the corner on Nash. T-Mac. Down in low. Juwan Howard. 6 on the shot clock. Nice fake by Juwan. Got it inside. Drew the foul from McCarty. Boy, a whole myriad of moves by Juwan Howard.
You watch Howard right now. When he's playing, usually the Rockets are playing very, very well as a team. Look at this little, every fake you got, a little up and under move, draw the foul.
He turned Walter around a couple of times, didn't he?
Yeah, Bill Walter's known as a three-point shooter. Walter's not coming into the game to play a lot of defense at this particular time.
Well, you know, before the trading deadline, Phoenix was relying almost exclusively on all 5 starters, Coach, and they could tell they were going to wear out before the playoffs. So they went and got Jim Jackson. They made that deal with New Orleans. Here comes Jimmy now. Jimmy did not report to New Orleans after the deal for Wesley that the Rockets made. And he got traded here, and then they picked up Walter McCarty. And that gave him a little depth.
Yeah, and they needed the depth. They had a little depth with Barbados at the point. Now they've got it at the wing. You need depth at court, wings, and post. You need it for different positions.
So Juwan gets them both. The Rockets are 4 for 4 from the line. Likewise for the Suns. Rockets lead it by 9 points. Nash gets a double team. McCarty keeps it alive to Jim Jackson. Rockets fans know about Jackson. You have to guard him at the three-point line. Very athletic. Stoudemire gets a triple team, loses the ball, and Wesley comes up with another loose ball. Over to Sura. Sura quickly to Juwan. He'll back it in on McCarty. Backs it in on McCarty. It's not there to McGrady. Still 14 on the shot clock for Houston. McGrady with a floating jumper going to his left. And Tracy with 6 points. Rockets' biggest lead of the game.
As soon as Tracy saw little Nash on his light, his eyes just lit up. What that shot.
McCarty just shot that one from Flagstaff. Wow. That's a 3+.
That might have been as far out as I've seen one this year.
So we're going to have Leandro Barbosa. You just talked about that young man. And he will check into the game in just a moment. The Rockets, Coach, have scored on their last 8 trips up the court. And Jeff Van Gundy has to be happy about that.
It's confidence. The Rockets, right, the Seattle game is just giving them unbelievable confidence. They've come out here tonight thinking they're ready to play anybody, anywhere, at any time.
McGrady goes to his left with a jumper. Mutombo just checked in and lays it up and in. So Dikembe Mutombo increases Houston's lead to 13 points. Nash to the middle. Back to Stoudemire. Stoudemire, Mutombo. Oh, a late whistle. Oh, they bailed him out. Dikembe is charged with a foul, but he had already grabbed the rebound when that whistle sounded.
Here's what the Rockets are doing defensively that's causing Nash so much problem. They're doubling him with a post player when they penetrate. You watch it there. Now the whistle blows when Mutombo has the ball. Yeah, that's about the latest whistle of the year, too.
Well, I know what Bill Kennedy was waiting to see. I guess he said if they were going to make it, he would let it go.
No doubt. And miss it, we got to call it.
That's right. And Stoudemire. So Stoudemire has 8 points, 6 of the 8 coming from the free throw line. 3:25 left to play in the first quarter. Sura turns that corner, giving it back to Wesley. Wesley dribbling off balance. Mutombo with a 12-footer short. Leandro Barbosa coming off that bench. He's been averaging the last couple of games about 15 points a game, and McGrady puts it up and in. So McGrady has brought a little offense off the bench for Phoenix.
When he left his hand, he was running to the other end. He said, I know that's going in. That's too close.
Jeff Van Gundy calls a timeout with 2:58 left to play in the first quarter. The Rockets are off to a great start in the Valley of the Sun. (27-18) Houston, 2:58 left in the first quarter, and let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's league leaders. These are the three-point field goals made. Quentin Richardson with 182 threes. Damon Jones out of Houston in the number 3 slot. Ray Allen, Gilbert Arenas. Right now, Quentin is on pace for 245 threes this season, and that would put him slightly behind Dennis Scott. Dennis Scott has the most at 267 made in the 96 season.
Yeah, but here in Phoenix, under this coach, anybody on their team, including the guys 3 seats up in the stands, has got the freedom to shoot the 3-ball, Bill. Anybody.
Well, you know, Quentin, I said, is on course for 245 three-pointers made, but that's 671 attempts. Boy, that's a lot.
That's putting it up anywhere, at any time, any place.
You need to be on a first-name basis with your coach to get 671 three-point attempps, don't you?
I don't. If you're on first-name basis with me, I still don't think you could get that many.
All right, Wesley, McGrady, Juwan Howard, Dikembe Mutombo. It's like the Rockets had a little trouble getting into that set, and it's knocked out of bounds by McGrady. They came out of the timeout. That's very unusual, and not everybody was on the same page.
Usually when they come out of a timeout, Coach Van Gundy's got them in a specific play that everybody better go to their spots and run, and they usually execute it really well.
Oh, walking on Stoudemire. You know, the advantage when you take Yao Ming out, he already has a block shot. You come in with Dikembe Mutombo, who is the 3rd all-time shot blocker in NBA history, or will be soon. Down in low. T-Mac. Over to Juwan Howard. And Juwan misses. Mutombo with a rebound. Mutombo puts it back up too hard. Goes and gets it again. Puts it up again. Has it blocked. Stoudemire finally got that second one. And Jim Jackson with the basketball. And that's knocked away. Almost a steal. Houston has had the hands out. Joe Johnson. And it's knocked out of bounds by Houston with 9 on the shot clock.
The Houston deflections tonight in this first quarter has been outstanding. Their steals have been very good, but they're getting their hands on the ball. They're disrupting the pick and roll play that Phoenix likes to run.
Joe Johnson on the drive, and he shoots it over Mutombo. A 13-point Houston lead now has gone down to 7 with 150 and counting left to play in the first quarter. Rockets shooting 44%, 40% by Phoenix. David Wesley having a hot first quarter. Passes off to Juwan Howard. 7 on the shot clock. Mike James in the game now for Houston. Mike back to Juwan. Sets him up beautifully. And Juwan misses. Mutombo missed the tip. Mutombo takes it back up and in. Well, I'll tell you, Dikembe now giving you a little Moses Malone act there with that offensive rebounding, coach.
Staying away from the ball, getting every offensive rebound there is, and Stoudemire's going to have to block him out.
Got to get Big Mo in there. We know he's listening in Houston. There's a steal almost by T-Mac. Back to Stoudemire, and he fills it up. Oh, man.
With the Big Mo, the best rebounder you've been around?
The best.
The absolute best.
Well, Hakeem Olajuwon was right there, but I think for just going and getting the ball, Moses Malone used to have those 25 to 28 rebound games. And we've got a whistle.
You were telling me today.
Offensive foul is called on Houston. David Wesley.
You were telling me today if Moses Malone would have had really big hands, wouldn't have telling how many rebounds he'd have got.
Well, you have to outlaw him. He was truly, for about 3 or 4 years there when he played in Houston, he was the most dominating big man in the league. Jim Jackson puts it up and in.
I bet you that felt good to Mr. Jackson. He didn't want to leave Houston. He wanted to knock one down against us tonight.
Well, Phoenix now, the Rockets needed some backcourt players. They had to give up a good player in Jim Jackson to get a David Wesley. Right now a 10-2 run as Phoenix trying to finish this quarter with a rush. Rockets need a basket. They go down to Juwan. Juwan works it inside, knocked out. Off the hands of Juwan Howard. Turnover Houston, and now there is no shot clock. Suns can get the final shot. So Barbosa, McCarty, Jackson, they've come off the bench and done a good job for the Suns.
Give them a great big lift.
Jackson taking it down low. Stoudemire with a fadeaway. And Tracy will throw it the length of the court, but it won't go down. So the Phoenix Suns in the quarter with a 12-2 run. That 13-point Houston lead has evaporated, but it's still a good first quarter for Houston. Good first quarter for the Houston Rockets. Royce Builders has teamed up with the Rockets to send Houston area students to college. For each Rockets block shot during the season, $50 will be donated to the RoyceBuilders.com Foundation for Youth. Log on to RoyceBuilders.com for scholarship information. And Dikembe still trying to close in on that shot block record, and he's still got a little ways to go. He's got, he needs 4 more to tie Mark Eaton for 3rd place in NBA history. Barbosa to Jackson. He's got all day. Sets, fires, hits. Second three-pointer for Jim Jackson, and he has tied the game at 29. A 15-2 run now by Phoenix.
Phoenix is running some of what I call that international offense, where they screen and rescreen, and that leaves the shooter wide open.
Mike James with a quick shot. James back to his role now that he had with Milwaukee coming off the bench. Barbosa is open, fires, hits, and another 3, and Phoenix on an 18-2 run.
Right now the transition defense for the Rockets is not there. You look at it, bench points, Suns outscoring the Rockets 13-4.
Pageant, Barry, Yao Ming, James is open. He'll try to hit a 3. He misses. The Rockets have gone cold, and the Suns have gotten hot. Barbosa got it. A 20-2 run by Phoenix.
When you make the 3 ball from outside, you ball fake. You're going to be able to go in and shoot a little mid-range jumper. Jeff has to take a timeout.
Jeff Van Gundy says maybe I can stop them. I'll just call a timeout. They can't score sitting down over there. Rockets are firing up for the playoff drive, and you can guarantee your rights to a playoff seat with the purchase of a 6-game regular season mini plan. Great games are still available, including the Heat and the Cavs coming to town next week. It's only available by calling a ticket rep at 713-627-DUMP. Get to see some great games and get assured a playoff seat. There's one of your old players, Coach.
Yeah, there's Diana Taurasi from the Olympics. You talk about shooters, I'll put her against anybody in the building.
Well, Wesley misses. The Rockets have been ice cold now. Knocked out of bounds by Houston. They've gone almost 5 minutes without a field goal.
Yeah, in the last 4:47, 20-2 without Nash. So much for this idea of what Nash has added to this team.
Barbosa has come in and done a great job. The Suns, really, everybody handles the ball. Into Stoudemire for another dunk. A 22-2 run. This is what Phoenix can do, too.
See, they run a little counter early. The Rockets were really hurting them with a double on the ball a lot. Now the Suns have run a little counter to that on the weak side.
Yao Ming finally breaks the drought by Houston. The Rockets have gone almost 5 minutes. Stoudemire in and out. Yao Ming giving it up to Mike James. Phoenix can go on runs as well as any team in the league. Yao Ming again from the baseline.
That's where I think Houston's eventually going to have to try to win the basketball game. They've got to go inside to Yao Ming.
Stoudemire blocked by Yao. John Barry comes out of there with it. Stoudemire tried to fall down and draw a foul. They weren't buying it. John passes off to Mike James. Wesley will try for a 3. He hits his 4th 3 of the game. 4 threes already for David Wesley. He has 16 points.
The Suns are choosing to leave him open. Why, I don't know. After 16 points, I think I'd guard a guy.
Now a 7-0 run by Houston. It has been a game of runs by both teams. Ramos in the corner. They rim one out. Yao Ming with a rebound. Inside.
John Barrett takes a wide open layup. Paget sees him on the baseline, throws it inside. Now the Rockets are running.
Yes, they are. And that's a 9-0 run by Houston. Timeout taken by Phoenix.
What separates her, she's thinking right now, I could help the Suns, not the Mercury. I could play anywhere, anytime.
Well, right now, the Rockets are on a 9-0 run. Quentin Richardson working on T-Mac. T-Mac shut him out, forced a terrible shot. And Hunter lost the ball off his knee, and Houston will have it. Well, how about these runs now? A 22-2 run by Phoenix got them back and got them the lead, and then the Rockets have run off a 9-0 run to take the lead back 38-36.
But the Rockets come in with Yao Ming, and I think he's been a difference because they have no answer to him defensively.
Jump hook by Yao. Won't go down. Good hustle by Paget, but he couldn't corral it. Joe Johnson. And he is fouled on the play by Paget. Johnson's another one of those guys. He's got that very common name, Joe Johnson, but yet he's a big part of this Phoenix team. He's 6'6", 6'7". He can guard anybody. And Nash back into the game.
Normally they have 5 players averaging 15 points or more. When you think about that, that's outstanding. But Johnson, what you have to do to Phoenix, you cannot let the Joe Johnsons get in the seams and get to the hole. Their 3-ball will kill you, but getting to the basket is even worse.
Joe is a terrific athlete. Out of the University of Arkansas, had a great collegiate career, and came over here a couple of seasons ago in a deal. I thought the real key for them was getting rid of Marbury and all of that big money contract that he had, and then able to pick up Nash and Richardson, and they have turned this team around here in Phoenix. The Rockets, of course, with Yao Ming with the miss, had a good look. They've remade their team. Carroll Dawson has remade it 3 times this season alone. Nash is all alone at the 3-point line. He misses, and the rebound goes to T-Mac. Tracy all the way to the rack, and Hunter with a foul.
Now, I thought the key trade for the Rockets was, and everybody at the time didn't think it was a key trade, but in my mind, I thought it turned out to be the trade is when you get a guard like David Wesley for Jim Jackson. I hated to give up Jim Jackson, but here's what David Wesley does. You go over there and beat Seattle. Who does he have to guard? Allen, a premier 2-guard. He's in this game tonight guarding a point guard. That's the versatility that they had defensively with David Wesley that they didn't have with Jim Jackson. Jim Jackson's a very good defensive player, but he could not guard the small quick guard.
Yep, and of course Carroll was able to pull that deal off. He had, before that, he had picked up John Barry from Atlanta. Then he swung the deal for Mike James. So the Rockets have had to remake on the run several times this season, trying to go 11 games over 500 with the victory here tonight. Jackson from the corner with a miss, and Barry with a rebound. Back to T-Mac. Now John's open. John. Oh, what a behind-the-back pass to Dikembe Mutombo. That Barry is slick.
He makes all the plays. He knows when to shoot. He can go behind his back.
And he picks up on defense. Good pickup on Johnson. Richardson to the basket. And a foul is called on Houston. Called on Mutombo.
This is what separates John Barry from a lot of people. Watch him ball fake, has the guts to penetrate and go behind to the big man. Oh, that's confidence. I asked him today, I said, what does your coach think about what you're doing? He said, I don't know. I think my coach actually likes me.
Well, he likes the attitude that John's a veteran. He's been around over 12 years. Jeff likes the fact that John knows how to play the game of basketball, and they sat down and had a talk when we got to Phoenix the other day. They were talking about the fact that when Sura comes back to the lineup, everyone needs to be assimilated. Everyone needs to still play hard and play together.
Yeah, I think this is, you bring Bobby back. I think it's smart not to give him a lot of minutes. Start him. If you can't, after you get injured, you got to start, but limit his minutes. I think they've done that. Then you got to explain to John Barry, maybe, John, your minutes will change just a little bit. David, your minutes are going to change. Not minutes, but maybe the role you're going to play.
Now, Coach, with Sura back, there's a different team that Jeff can start putting out on the court. He's got James in there and Wesley. Now, Padgett will come out and Barry, along with Tracy McGrady. Now, does T-Mac switch to the 4 spot here?
Yeah, see, other teams in the past have been going what I call small ball and doing what the Rockets are doing right now. The Rockets now can counter with this group of players. Now they can put T-Mac at the 4 spot with 3 little guards in, because that's what they're doing right now against Phoenix.
Well, I got news for you. The 4 just brought the ball up and gives it up to the 5, and a late whistle and a foul is called, and the correct call is made. The crowd doesn't think so, but Richardson never really got set.
And Richardson was in the little circle. Gary came out, and you'll see this. The 4 players bringing it up, runs a little pick and roll, and now a block. That's automatic. You're in that little circle under the basket in the NBA. There are free throws coming.
The difference, of course, in the NBA and college ball, that might have been a foul. In college, might have been a charge. But in pro ball, they don't want you to be impeded from getting to the basket.
In college, that's a charge 90% of the time going the other way. Another factor in the NBA. They don't want anybody getting hurt. These people are paying the money to see offense, not to see somebody flop down on the floor.
So Mutombo off the bench with 7 points and 6 rebounds, going for 8 points right here. And he misses. First miss from the free throw line for Houston, 7 of 8. 43-38 now, 5-point Houston lead.
I think he is the best backup player at his position in this league right now.
Nash is fouled on the play behind Mutombo.
Based on minutes played, though, Bill, he is not. That's his 3rd foul. That's going to be tough. They're going to have to bring Yao back into the game. But Mutombo right now is playing. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, but the minutes he gets, he does the job.
We want to thank all of our friends and sponsors for supporting the Tucks and Tinnies this past week. And the proceeds went to building a hospital in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for the Dikembe Mutombo Fund, and it was, I think, the best Tucks and Tinnies we've ever had in the 9 years that I've been around. And Mutombo with his family were so honored and so gracious. And Russ Alexander really believed in that hospital, and so did the people in Houston.
Yeah, I heard you did an outstanding job emceeing it. They brought in the big guns because they had the former president there.
We had a lot of fun. T-Mac goes for the 3. He misses. Yao tries to keep it alive. Stoudemire has the rebound to Nash. Nash to Richardson. Back to Stoudemire. Stoudemire to the basket for 2. He's a trailer on a lot of those plays, isn't he, Coach?
Yeah, when he comes running down the floor, he rebounds. They spread the floor. They run 4 out and 1 under. He's the 1 under. What an attitude. When he comes down, he's ready to dunk the ball. He knows how to finish.
Barbosa. Slick pass from Yao Ming to John Barry.
Yeah, outstanding pass, but you watch this right now. Stoudemire comes running down. They like to penetrate, drawing defenders, and he fills those little seams and alleys.
You can't forget about him when he's trailing the play. So we don't have a timeout. The 2 teams were going to the benches. They thought there was going to be a timeout whistle, so John Barry will have 2 free throws.
But on the last play, that Barry gets fouled. 7-6, Yao Ming passes under the basket. Outstanding passer, but international big players usually are very good passers.
John Barry came to Houston with averages of almost 6 points, 2 assists in 748 regular season games, and he has appeared in the postseason in each of the last 8 years, so he knows how to get there. He knows how to win. He knows how to play in the big games, and that's some knowledge he can impart to the younger Rockets. There aren't a lot of younger Rockets, but maybe Yao Ming, Tracy. Look at that dunk shot by Stoudemire, and he's fouled on the play.
I think when they run the pick and roll, they're doing a great job now coming out of the pick and hitting. See that they backing up Nash is and then hitting the person who sets the screen, which is Stoudemire rolling to the basket. And when he catches it near the hole, forget it.
So Mike James was called for the foul. And Mike will go out of the game now, so it'll be Sura back in. And the three-point play, the old-fashioned way for Stoudemire. Stoudemire with 19 points. Wesley with 16 for Houston. Game tied at 45. McGrady pops out. Misses. Tipped out to Barry by Yao. Fresh 24 for Houston. 5:27 left to play in the second period. Wide open McGrady. Beautiful setup pass by John Barry. You know what I like about Barry? He gets the ball to him where they like to shoot it.
And not only does he get it to him at that moment, it's the timing of it. You want to catch the ball when you're first breaking out of the opening, when you need to shoot it in rhythm. So many people pass you the ball after you stand still. We got a foul on the other end now. Watch this pass, though, Bill. See that ball faking? He gives it to Tracy at the right moment.
That foul was on David Wesley, his second foul of the game, and one of the best free throw shooters in NBA history at the line now. That's Steve Nash. Nash came into this game shooting 88%, which is really below his career average.
Isn't that something? You're saying a guy, he's down a little bit, but he's not shooting but 88 this year.
Well, they're number 21 in the league at free throw shooting. Phoenix is. Game tied at 47. Barry in the corner. Barry will fire it up. Rebound to Nash. Nash. Wesley got his hands on another ball. Now Stoudemire has it. Blocked. Barry may have blocked it. Here's McGrady. Takes it to the middle. And it's put up and in by Sura. I thought McGrady got fouled on that, but they didn't ask. 49-47 Rockets. Yao standing there, gets called for the foul, and for Yao Ming, that's his second foul of the game.
And we have talked about this foul for 50-something basketball games. He comes out on the pick and roll, so he's too far out, and then he tries to get over. You cannot commit that foul. Don't give yourself up there. You're too valuable to this basketball team.
And Nash missed. Jim Jackson checks in for Barbosa. Barbosa had some good minutes. In 10 minutes, he had 5 points, a couple of rebounds. He had 15 points against San Antonio. They played the Spurs here a couple of nights ago, and San Antonio played without Tim Duncan. And they really made a lot of that. They didn't like that here in Phoenix.
See, that's where I'm different. I'll take a win any way I can get it. It wouldn't make any difference who I was playing, whatever.
Well, they were still talking about it today. Yao Ming takes it to the middle, lays it up, and in. Yao Ming now with 8 points, 10 for McGrady, 16 for Wesley. Stoudemire. And a foul on Yao Ming.
So that's why I think his second foul is so big. That's all right to get that foul. Let's play him. They're making ball movement, running a little weave. Here comes the trailer. That's a tough zone. Could have gone either way. It could have been a charge. You look at it. But maybe, yeah. But the second foul is the one you don't need to pick up.
Didn't look like Yao had his feet set.
I thought he got there a little late.
Yeah, got there a little late. So Juwan Howard now will have to come in. So Yao Ming with 3 fouls and Mutombo with 3. And both of the centers for Houston will sit it out here the final 4:03 of the second quarter. Stoudemire hasn't missed.
I look for Stoudemire now to really go off offensively. As you look at it, he's 9 for 9. But right now with Juwan Howard, a smaller man on him, look for him to post up and score inside.
It's 21 points now for Stoudemire. Rockets up by a point. T-Mac is fouled by Stoudemire. Tracy really is the best in the league at drawing that. Usually he draws it from behind the three-point line. That time he was inside the arc.
He does a good job of getting them off balance. He can shoot the ball. Why does this work so well? Because he's such a good outside shooter. They got to contest him. When they do, they come out. He kind of jumps into them, and that gives him 2 free throws.
Tracy, of course, as Jeff Hagedorn told you right before the game, he scored 35 points Tuesday at Seattle, and the Rockets are 16-2 when he reaches 30 points. So that's a number you want to keep an eye on here tonight. Over the last 5 games, T-Mac is shooting 52% from the field. And tonight he's 4 of 9. He has 11. Three-pointer. Joe Johnson. And the Suns have taken the lead by a point. 3:27 left to play in the second period. 12 on the shot clock for Houston. Sura backs it out. Barry gives it up in the middle. And the ball knocked out of bounds and a turnover Houston. That was a pretty good defense by Phoenix.
And that's the best defensive series they have played. They switched. They found their man. Usually they don't put quite as much effort into defense as they do in the offense.
Jim Jackson for a three from the corner. And the Suns have upped their lead to 55-52. And a 20-second timeout by Jeff Van Gundy. We're going to take a full. 2:55 left in the first half. Phoenix up by 3 with 2:55 left in the second quarter. Boy, if they had that contest here, Coach, they'd run out of meat.
Oh, McDonald's would go out of business here in Phoenix. They could not have it. They'd have to have 110. That's what they'd have to do.
Yeah. And Phoenix averages 111 a game.
You know, the Rockets right now, what they're missing, they don't have Deke and Yao in there defensively to block shots, to alter shots, and get the rebound. I think this is going to be, they've got to hold on right here for the last 2 minutes or so and make it happen. 2:55 to go. You've got to be able to hang on and stay close to it.
Remember, Phoenix doesn't have Sean Marion,
who is a 19 and 11 man every night.
They come at you in waves. So does McGrady. And Tracy gets the Rockets back to within a point. T-Mac with 13. Sura's matched up with Nash now. Richardson and T-Mac. Wesley is on Jim Jackson. They have good spacing, don't they, Phoenix? They spread you out.
They spread you out and then run screen and roll very, very well. They do that job. And then he just missed an easy shot there.
All right, the Rockets with a chance to take the lead on this possession. 2:15 left to play. Barry, T-Mac. Yes, Tracy McGrady with back-to-back buckets. 15 points. Rockets have gone back on top. 56-55. These two teams have traded several long runs and the lead several times. Well, Juwan didn't fall for it, but Stoudemire made it anyway. He's something, isn't he? 23 points.
And we're not at halftime yet.
T-Mac in the corner. Juwan with a jump hook. In and out, won't go. Tough luck shot. Minute and a half left to play in the first half. Nash averaging double-figure assists per game. They've done a pretty good job on him. In and out on the three. Nash is 1 for 3. He has 8 points, 5 of those coming from the free throw line, and only 3 assists. T-Mac from the top hits again. Tracy McGrady, as he can do so many times, impose his will on a game. Joe Johnson to the basket.
What a move. He drove, used his left hand under the basket. But Tracy McGrady right now is keeping the Rockets in the game. Yao Ming's out. He says, I'll just carry it on my shoulder.
T-Mac back to Juwan. Juwan on the drive, lays it up with the left hand for 2, and the Rockets have gone back on top. 60-59. Rockets showing they can play this kind of game if you want to run and gun.
Looks like whoever gets the last possession wins in the fourth quarter. Don't leave watching this game.
Nash on the drive. Lays it up. Wesley with good defense. And Wesley with the rebound. Rockets now have about a 7-second difference. Makes no difference as Jackson gets the steal. Stoudemire takes it inside, and he's fouled by Juwan Howard.
Now there's so much talk, and he didn't play high school basketball for 2 years. He struggled a little bit. His team, he was ineligible his junior year. Nobody didn't know who to take, but Phoenix did. And what a player! What a job he's doing right now. 22, 23 points in 22 minutes. That's pretty hard to do now.
And 22 years old.
I like all those 22 years old. Ooh.
Yeah, he had 19 points in the first game against Houston. He's got 23 now, looking for 24 and 25. He shuffled through a bunch of high schools. He had a couple in North Carolina, Mount Zion Christian Academy, and then briefly he played at Emmanuel Christian. And, of course, he shuffled through Guardians. His mother and older brother were in jail. A lot of the time he was growing up in high school, and he acquired, a reputation of maybe being a bad kid, but he's anything but. He's a great kid.
That upbringing just made him tougher. He had to be physically and mentally tougher, and that helped him.
5 seconds now left for McGrady to make a decision. Down to 3, down to 2. McGrady to the basket and missed it. Stoudemire with a rebound, and that will do it. What a first half we have had here in Phoenix. A lot of fireworks already. As McGrady with 17, Wesley with 16, 24 for Stoudemire. And this game is tied at 60. Stay with us. Tonight's Toyota Power Team halftime report comes your way after the break.
Welcome into the FSN studios for the Toyota Halftime Report. I'm John Radigan. Rockets and Suns all tied up at 60 to 60 after one half of play. The marquee matchup, of course, in the game tonight, Tracy McGrady and Amari Stoudemire. And points-wise anyway, the youngster, Amari Stoudemire, getting the best of the relatively old at age 25. Tracy McGrady, 24 points to 17 points, both on 7 of 13 shooting. Remember, T-Mac, when he scores 30 points or more, the Rockets are 16-2. When he scores more than 30, they are 14-1. Rockets fans hoping he gets at least 13 in the second half of this game.
You want points? We're going to give you points out here in the desert as we are tied at 60. David Wesley got into the spirit of things, Coach, early in the game. He's got 4 threes in the first half.
And David Wesley's the one that started the Rockets because they were leaving him wide open on the double team. He's hitting it from outside. As you look at him, he's made some good things happen defensively. He's had steals, layup. He's the guy right now that's helping carry this Rocket to a 60-point half. What a game.
And Stoudemire is well on his way to 50, so we should have a great second half. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Here are tonight's Bud Light first half stats. As you can see, it's a high-powered scoring game here with the three-pointers, the free throws, offensive rebounds in favor of Houston. So here we go to start the second half. And Joe Johnson will give it up to Steve Nash. Over to Stoudemire. Stoudemire having a big first half with 24 points. Fake baseline, takes it inside. Yao Ming made him change the shot. Yao's done that to Stoudemire 4 or 5 times already in this game.
I think it's a key. Yao has to play 4 or 5 minutes without picking up his 4th foul here in the third quarter.
Wesley back to Yao Ming, puts it up, missed it, got the rebound, puts it down, and draws the foul from Walter McCarty. Let's go to Jeff Hagedorn and get the second half report. Coaches.
All right, Bill, I spoke with assistant head coach Tom Thibodeau and asked him how the Suns were able to go on a 22-2 run in the second quarter and erase that 13-point Rocket lead. He said they adjusted by inserting shooters at power forward. Walter McCarty, even Jimmy Jackson saw some time at the floor. They also spread the floor for Steve Nash, and he was able to penetrate and create. In the second half defensively, he says the Rockets have to use their feet better defensively, don't allow penetration, cut down on fouls, especially at the 5 spot where Kevin Mutombo and Yao Ming are both in trouble.
Thank you, Jeff. As Yao misses the free throw, Rockets 11 of 14 from the line for 79%. 17 of 21 for Phoenix, 81%. Yao Ming with 9 points now. Nash always looking to penetrate. He does. Rockets waiting for him back outside. Richardson puts it up and in.
When you give Phoenix an open look at the basket, they're as good a team as in the NBA at knocking the shot down.
Nash going for the steal. Sura saves it. Tracy off the front of the iron. Nash in the open court. Sura is back for defense. Cuts him off. Walter McCarty hits a 3. What a force McCarty has been with 8 points off the bench.
See, when the Rockets are coming back, they're coming back in defense, but they're not finding their man quick enough.
Now back outside to Wesley. 3-pointer. And David misses. He was 4 for 6 prior to that. Down low, Richardson lost the ball. Stoudemire picks it up. Nash will fire from the corner. In and out. Richardson tips it, and it's saved. Over to Sura. Good hustle by Juwan Howard. And Juwan missing. Yao Ming puts it up with the left hand, and Yao with 11 points, 9 rebounds.
And the 9 rebounds is what's so impressive. If the Rockets are going to be a serious threat in the playoffs, Yao's got to be 9, 10, 11 rebounders a game.
Quentin Richardson hits a 3. Relentless. That's the only thing I can think of when I think of Phoenix. They just keep coming at you. They don't really care if they hold you down. You've got to hold them down. Down low to Juwan Howard. Gets a double team. Juwan back out. They move it around to Sura. Sura will fire it up. In and out. Won't go. Bobby 1 for 4. Trying to get into the rhythm of the game again. He missed that many. Sura has missed 20 games this season.
But right when you usually come back from an injury, the first game is just getting the rhythm down. You're really rusty that first game.
Whistle and a 3-second violation on Houston.
3-second violation call against the Rockets. Suns ball.
Dikembe Mutombo will come in for Yao Ming.
You can be in the lane for 3 seconds when you think the shot's going to be, somebody's going to shoot the ball. But when it's being reversed on the perimeter, you've got to stay out of the lane. Don't make that turnover.
McCarty again. McCarty hits again. Walter McCarty with 11 points coming off that bench. Jeff Van Gundy has to call a timeout and go to plan B. Plan A is not working. The Suns with their biggest lead of the game. I know you've had some of that ciabatta, Coach.
I'm just thinking I'm going to have me one of those next week. Hey, I'm going to tell you, you can't have one, nobody. Sports fans, let me tell you about a little story. Mr. Warrell's been working out. Anthony, our hands-on, put him on a workout. Anthony made one error. He didn't realize he's dealing with a 55-year-old instead of a 25-year-old. He's like to kill him.
Thank you. You made me younger. McGrady pops up for a 3 and hits, so that's a long 2 for Tracy McGrady. And, Coach, that was a big shot because they had jumped out to an 8-point lead. This is a team that can run off and bury you if you let them.
And to come out of the timeout, we said it before, what a timeout, what a play.
This team ever miss? It's just amazing what they have done. They are 9 of 17 from behind the arc for 53%. You got a double team on McGrady. Somebody else has to step up. Maybe it's David, and he does. Long 2 for David Wesley. So Wesley with 18 points. T-Mac with 19. Nash gets it inside, puts it up, over the back, Stoudemire. He went over the back of Mutombo.
One of the greatest plays I've ever seen in basketball right there, Bill. That was unbelievable. He went up and dumped the ball.
Wesley outside to Sura. Back out to David. McGrady. This is on the 3. Well, they'll give you a 3, but you better make it. And Joe Johnson fouled by David Wesley, his 3rd foul of the game. Well, here's one of the greatest plays you've ever seen.
You watch it in person and now live. Watch him come up over him. I didn't say to get the ball. I to duck the ball. Was he on his back?
Well, he did it so fast they couldn't call him. Johnson misses. Mutombo has to tip it to himself. Stoudemire almost did it to him again. Stoudemire jumps when the other player's thinking about jumping.
He's dunking when they're thinking about rebounding, too.
You know who else could do that? Hakeem Olajuwon. He could jump, go up, come down, go up again while you were still thinking about doing it. There's a miss by Sura.
Was a dream, one of the all-time greats of the NBA, not in Houston, not the NBA.
No doubt about it.
Why?
Because he could do it all. He was a power forward who could play center, block shots, rebound, score points. He had the best footwork of any big man I ever saw. I mean, unbelievable footwork. He could finish. Outside to Nash. McGrady's been hot. McGrady stays hot. Another three-pointer for Walton. Walton's driving me crazy. 14 points from McGrady.
We've got to help off of somebody else to give Walton.
Steal. Joe Johnson for two. Jeff Van Gundy has to call a timeout. The Phoenix Suns just keep coming after the Rockets. Wave after wave of offense. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch, and right now it's all Amari Stoudemire. And it's time to check out tonight's Royce Builders block shots. So far this Rockets have 4 blocks. Total donation to the RoyceBuilders.com Foundation for Youth so far this season, $13,100.
You were too quick for the audience then, Bill, between block shots and big man report. You're just working tonight.
Well, we're shoving them in there where we can. Right now, the Rockets better start shoving something in the basket, Coach.
They better start playing some defense. Put in some players. Now they're going to make this something. Bring in Ryan Bowen to play. This is a small ball with a bigger version of small ball.
All right, Brian Bowen is in the game. Yao Ming is in also for Houston. Bob Sura outside. The T-Mac up and in. Tracy McGrady with 21 points. They just spread you out. And if you commit to double teaming somebody, someone for this Suns team is going to be open. There it is. Nash makes one extra pass. That time the Rockets react nicely. 5 on the shot clock. Johnson missing. That's good defense by Houston.
Yeah, they finally shut down deep penetration, a little penetration. They didn't get all the way to the lane.
Tracy got a pick. He raises up and hits again. Tracy McGrady with 23. We've seen this before where McGrady can take over a game, and the Rockets need him to right here. Well, they finally have figured out McGrady can hurt them. Well, they didn't get out fast enough, and he missed finally. Stoudemire is fouled by Yao Ming. 4th foul on Yao.
Stoudemire called the foul right there. Normally, you don't have any fouls. Yao should take that foul. Let that go. Let him dunk the ball. Don't make him earn it, because now that puts 4 fouls on Yao Ming. Jeff Van Gundy's telling them that. Back up a little bit.
Stoudemire has missed only 1 free throw. He's 10 of 11 from the line tonight. Stoudemire has 26 points and 9 rebounds. Yao Ming with 11 points and 10 rebounds, so another double-double for Yao this season. This is the 19th double-double for Yao Ming.
And when you think about what he did, he was averaging 12 points early in his career. In a 3-year period, he's up. His field goal percentage is up. His 4th quarter production is up.
Tracy McGrady going to the basket, and he is fouled. It's going to be 2 shots. So Walter McGrady is called for his 3rd foul of the game, as T-Mac will go to the free throw line.
Timberwolves beat the Magic tonight, 101-96.
Everybody's hanging around. When you take a look at the standings, the Lakers won a big game last night, I thought.
Really big, because they would be reeling if they weren't. Grizzlies is up on the Jazz. In case you want to know, the Hawks won a game tonight. Okay. If you don't want to know, file it.
Rockets have 25 losses, and Denver with 29, along with the Lakers, so they're only 4 back in the loss column. And Denver has been a hard-charging Nuggets team, 7 wins in a row. Tracy in and out.
What a coaching change. George Karl's gone in for Denver. Give them an attitude. Been posting up Anthony Moore inside. They're hard to beat now.
Yes, indeed. There's Nash losing it. James has it. 3-on-1 fast break. And James puts it up, and a foul is called on McGrady. That's his 4th foul. And Wesley will go to the line to shoot 2.
Wesley's going to shoot 2 with all the fans doing. Let's watch the replay. He slips down. Here comes Ryan Moore, Mr. Defensive Hawk himself. Let's see if there's a foul here. They better be glad they called a foul. Somebody was about to dunk the ball.
David Wesley, an excellent free throw shooter, will be there at the line. This season, there's another Stoudemire leading in free throw percentage, but it's Damon Stoudemire at Portland at 93%. David Wesley this season an 84% free throw shooter. I told you a minute ago, Yao Ming had his 19th double-double of the season. Well, Stoudemire has his 19th double-double tonight with 27 points and 10 rebounds.
The only reason every game is not a double-double for him, sometimes he doesn't reach it in rebound. He always reaches it in scoring.
On to Stoudemire. He's surrounded by the Rockets. Takes it up, blocked by Yao Ming. That's the third block by Yao, and two of them have been on Stoudemire. And he's made him change several other shots. McGrady will set up the play. The Rockets are down by 8. Tracy, nice pass to Yao Ming, and the Rockets are within 6, down by 14 just a couple of minutes ago.
The Rockets are doing a good job of executing the pick and roll, hunting the open man. The insertion of Ryan Bowen has made a defensive adjustment for the Rockets. Has really helped.
Stoudemire in and out. Rockets on a 9-1 run. Mike James going to T-Mac again. He rises up over Joe Johnson and hits. Johnson helpless. 26 points for McGrady. Here come the Rockets on an 11-1 run. And now they force Phoenix into a timeout. What a game here in Phoenix. Oh, my goodness. Both teams, it looked like Phoenix was going to put the Rockets away with a 14-point lead, and now the Rockets come charging back.
Yes, the Rockets have done a good job of, when they dropped behind in Seattle, they came back rolling. You watch it now, when you got a great player like Tracy McGrady, he can just post up, he can carry you outside, he can just carry a team right now. He is carrying the Rockets with what he's doing. But the Rockets have the kind of character, they don't give up when they're down, they just play hard.
Well, when you start talking about most valuable player credentials, of course, everyone's talking about Steve Nash, and he certainly should be, if not number 1, number 2 on the list. Tim Duncan's always up there. Shaquille O'Neal for MVP. But I got to put Tracy McGrady in there, too, because we watch him every night, and this guy does some things you can't believe.
Yeah, he's carrying this team. He's put this team into 6th place when he's made every change you could make on a basketball team. If I was picking an MVP, I'd either narrow it down to Tracy McGrady, Tim Duncan, and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not going to put Nash there. You got him a little higher than I have, that's fine.
Well, Amari Stoudemire might even get consideration over Nash. But Tracy McGrady, that was the first deal that Carol Dawson and Les Alexander, they went out and made that deal to get Tracy, who's only 26 years old, put him with Yao Ming, who's only 25. That's the foundation of this team for years to come. Carroll has built this team around those two, but Tracy, night in and night out, puts up numbers that are unbelievable. He's got 26 tonight.
Excuse me, Bill. With all the changes, he's been the one with every change out there that's carried the Rockets to where they're in the position they're in today.
Mike James has called for the foul. And for Mike, that's his second foul of the game. It's the third team foul on Houston, 3 team fouls on the Suns. As Quentin Richardson will check back into the game. And Walter McCarty will come out. Also, Stephen Hunter will check in, and Stoudemire will get a breather. Stoudemire doesn't come out of too many games. He's going to take a little rest here.
But here's an opportunity for the Rockets because the Suns don't have quite as many offensive threats in the game right now.
Johnson. Jim Jackson in the corner.
I wouldn't include Jim Jackson, Jim. You didn't have to get mad.
We've seen him do that before, Coach. That's his second 3 tonight. 85-78, Suns with the lead. Now wants the ball. He's got Hunter on his hip. Leans it inside, puts it up with the left hand, in and out, won't go. Knocks it out of bounds.
I thought that time Yao got away with two things. I thought he walked to start with. I thought he came over the back. Now he's striking, and that's good. He needs to have a little fire about him. Win a hustle, Yao.
Yao's got an attitude, Coach.
Maybe it'll make him mad.
The gentle giant developing an attitude as this season comes down. Richardson gets it around to Johnson. Johnson always probing the defense. Rattles, goes in. 87-78 Suns.
Every time the Rockets get close, somebody comes in for the Suns and makes an offensive play. They're not going to win the game on defense. You score on defense.
T-Mac hits again. Tracy McGrady with 28 points on 12 of 20 from the field. Nash. Good pickup on the switch by Wesley. Now Jackson wants to post up Wesley. Turnaround. Good defense by David. T-Mac uses that big pick by Yao Ming. Oh, and Tracy McGrady hits again. Yao was falling down right in front of T-Mac, and he never lost his concentration. Back to Jackson. Richardson puts up a three and hits. My goodness gracious.
You know, as long as the Suns do not come out with Hunter and jump on Tracy McGrady on this pick and roll, he's going to fill it up.
That's 12 three-pointers for Phoenix tonight. T-Mac rises up. This time he misses. Ryan Bowen got the rebound. Johnson knocks it out of bounds. And John Barry will check in for Houston. Let's see if JB can get the Rockets back into the game. The Rockets were down by 14 when John checked in up in Seattle. And he helped lead the Rockets back to the lead.
Barry comes in with an attitude, build an attitude. Let's do whatever's necessary. Let's win the basketball game. He thinks he's going to be a part of every winning team that's ever existed.
So Leandro Barbosa checks into the game. Barbosa had a good second quarter for Phoenix. And Barry will bring it in. Great full shot clock for Houston. Going to Tracy McGrady again. Look at the double team on him right away. He waits for it to go away. Yao Ming wants to post up. Look at Richardson's not guarding anybody. He's not even close to anybody. Joe Johnson, Barry deflects it, and Ryan Bowen picks it up. Good defense. And Mike James draws the foul. He'll shoot two. That was an alert play by John Barry to stop that fast break.
That stopped the dunk. They were on their way running at a 2:01. He got a deflection. Phoenix was getting ready to slam it home.
Tracy McGrady coming over here to the bench for Jeff Van Gundy. And he will sit down. Tracy, T-Mac with 30 points. This is the 19th time this season that Tracy McGrady has 30 points.
And we're talking about MVP. Name another player that's done more for his team with 6 different point guards, with James and Akeem Jackson, Wesley, all of that, that's done more for his team than Tracy McGrady.
Well, of course, there's a good argument for this turnaround that Phoenix has made out here in the desert, and so you'd have to give consideration to Nash and Stoudemire. Ray Allen should get some consideration with Shard Lewis, but we see T-Mac every night, and we're biased.
And nobody's better than Tim Duncan.
No. Not on a night-by-night basis. Joe Johnson with a miss. Yao Ming with a good rebound. Yao with 11 boards, 13 points. Rockets now trail by 6. Can go 2 for 1. James to the basket on the pass-off. A foul is called on Phoenix, and that's the 15th foul on the Suns, so Mike James will get to shoot free throws. The Rockets still have a foul to give, Coach.
And I think that's vital when you get down to the last seconds of a quarter, because then you can force the team with, say, 5 or 6 seconds to go on the shot clock from having to take the ball out of bounds. It's a lot tougher to score from sideline out of bounds.
Mike James was a savior for Houston coming in when he did at the trading deadline, and he scored in double figures in each of his 5 starts with Houston, averaging 18 points on 47% from the field. Now he goes back to coming off the bench. That's something he did very well in Milwaukee. And what a weapon to have. And Mike has come off the bench here tonight for 4 points.
When you bring him into a game, you bring a different type of player, and that's always good.
Barbosa outside. Picked up by James. Barbosa goes to the basket. Pass off, and a foul is called on Mutombo. Hunter will have to earn it from the free throw line, and that's probably a good idea because Hunter is only a 49% free throw shooter, Coach.
And you watch all this penetration. Now, Hunter does a good job of going there, but I like that foul. Don't give it up. Mutombo blocks it. You take a guy like this shooting less than 50% and make him earn it.
Oh, man. Did you see that knuckleball?
That was a Brick City shot. He's belonging to the Bricklayers Union.
Joe Negro would like that knuckleball.
That shot will never go in.
That is an ugly free throw. How's he up to 49%? Rockets now with 4 seconds. Down to 3. John Barry sets. He misses. But a 14-point lead was erased by Houston in the final 3 minutes of this third quarter. And here we go to the final 12 minutes. It's the Suns 90 and your Houston Rockets 86. Rockets trailing by 4 as we start the fourth. For every fast break point the Rockets score this season, Break Check will donate $20 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. Tonight the Rockets have 16 fast break points. The total donation so far this season, $10,700. John Barry, number 3 in the NBA in three-point shooting. JB is shooting 45% from behind the arc. As he leads the Rockets out, Ryan Bowen stays in, along with Mike James, Yao Ming, Wesley, and Barry. The Suns are back in with Stoudemire. Yao Ming from way downtown. Shows you the range the big fella has.
They left him wide open. They didn't think he could make it. Said, let me have the shot.
You know, when he first came to Houston, that was about the only shot he could make. Stoudemire taking it in, and look at Yao making change it. That's about the 4th or 5th time that he's changed a shot. Oh, and Mike James overthrows Yao Ming.
I think Mike should have kept the basketball, dribble penetrated a little bit more, give Yao an opportunity to set up. It's hard for a guy 7'6" to catch it on the move like that.
Ryan Bowen out on Richardson now. He has added a lot to that defense of Houston's out on the perimeter. Stoudemire taking it inside. Yao made him change it again. And Yao pulls down his 12th rebound of the game. 13th. James back to Yao. Yao says, you're not going to cover me, and this time he missed it. Rushed it a little bit. Quickly back to Stoudemire. Stoudemire turns inside and is blocked again by Yao Ming.
That's the 3rd possession that they've gone to Stoudemire, and Yao has defensed him perfect.
John Barry getting a lot of spacing now. Back to Yao Ming. He turns inside. He finds Mike James for a 3. Yes! A beautiful pass from Yao Ming, and the Rockets have regained the lead by 1. What a game. 10-18 and counting left to play. Nash with a pass to Stoudemire. Basket counts, and he's fouled on the play.
A key foul in the basketball game. They changed it.
It can't be on Tracy McGrady. He's not in the game.
They were giving it to Yao. They switched it off on to David Wesley.
Wesley with his 4th foul of the game. The crowd's booing. They wanted to foul on Yao Ming. The PA announcer called it on Tracy McGrady, and he's sitting over there next to Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah, if Tracy gets a foul right now, let's have an investigation.
Tracy said, it better not be on me. But Amari Stoudemire with 29 points, 10 rebounds, going for number 30 right here. He's only missed twice from the free throw line. He's 11 of 13 tonight. What a weapon to have a guy that gets to the line that much and can shoot at a good percentage. Get it up to Mike James, 93-91. Yao Ming with a little fake, takes it inside, and traveling is called on Yao. Yao just needs to be patient. He's had some big fourth quarters now. He's shooting 60% in the fourth quarter this season, including 76% over the last 10 games. Can you believe that?
On that possession, 60% is good. He should have just taken his time and knew he had the ball and not very much height guarding.
Three-pointer missed. Long rebound picked up by Barry on the run. He breaks through the defense. He'll shoot two. That Barry is tough, isn't he?
He's physically tough. He had no doubt about it. Carried to the basket, made the play. You'll see it now.
He's checking his teeth, coach, to see if they're all in.
Watch this play. The grittiness on the other end, the hustle, the desire. Go up, carry it to the basket, call the foul.
That looked like a little too much activity right there. Let's see what the call is. It's a two-shot foul. And that's all.
And the foul. His third personal foul.
Barbosa with his third foul of the game. The RoyceBuilders.com Foundation for Youth is dedicated to providing scholarship funds and educational support for outstanding high school and college students in the Houston area. The 2005 scholarship application deadline is April 15th. Visit rbffy.com for more information. Jeff Van Gundy was arguing with Bill Kennedy that he thought maybe that could have been in the flagrant category, that foul on John Barry. But now John will have one more free throw, and he has a chance to tie it up.
I think the only reason it was not, they went for the ball and not the body that much, and that's usually the deciding factor. But I thought it was a flagrant
Tell
foul.
John Barry they went for the ball.
Oh, I know.
Well, he makes both free throws, coach, and it's all tied at 93. Barbosa giving it back to Nash. 8 on the shot clock. Nash drives it through the middle. Richardson uses the glass. Ugly shot won't go. Off everybody's feet. And a 24-second shot clock violation for the Rockets. You will probably, that may be the only 24-second violation that coach has seen his team have this season.
Just that, but the only reason that was a 24-second violation, the ball did not hit the rim. There was a shot made. It was just an awful shot.
That's right. All right, the Rockets now with a chance to take the lead on this possession. We have played 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Mike James gets a step on Nash, throws it up off the glass, gets it back, puts it up and in. Good hard work by Mike James. He stayed after it. Mike has 7 points. Rockets with a 2-point lead. McCarty again. Oh, my goodness. Walter McCarty hits another 3.
You see, now the Rockets are on small ball version. They've got Tracy at the 4. They're going to have a change in defensive assignments to get on Walter.
Over to Yao Ming posting up. Giving it right back is Barry. Yao shoves it, and maybe he took McCarty through there with him. Rockets go back up by a point. One shot foul is called on Houston. We have a timeout. 8:15 left to play. Walter McCarty with a new season high for the Phoenix Suns. And the Rockets lead by 1. Let's take a look at tonight's D.R. Horton game summary. And pretty good shooting by both of these teams considering the fast pace of action. David Wesley in that first quarter. McGrady in the third quarter. Stoudemire and Yao Ming for the overall game.
You look at it right now, this game is a great game offensively. It's enjoyable. You see James take an inside-out pass. Now Yao has made a difference in shot blocking, and then he's hitting the outside shot, and that's his best dunk of the year.
Coach, the most impressive thing to me, as Tracy McGrady checks back into the game, the Rockets outscored the Suns 15-6 with T-Mac on the bench.
Yeah, that's when they put Ryan Bowen in the game. He now is guarding their 4-player. This is a much better matchup against Phoenix right now. That's not allowing McCarty to shoot the ball from outside like he was. Ryan's not heavy, he's not sagging.
All right, there's Stoudemire with Yao Ming giving him a lot of room. Stoudemire dumps him off, and the contact, no whistle. There he stops for a three. Oh, he does it again. He does it. Oh, they're going to give him a long two. John's upset. He thought it was a three. But the Rockets lead it by 3. Richardson matched up with T-Mac. Stoudemire from 17. And it goes out of bounds. Houston's ball.
Stoudemire right now is upset with Gary, the official, with he's not getting the calls.
Zelensky,
yeah. He's on the line. He doesn't think he is, but he's on the line.
All right, it's Mike James, Ryan Bowen, McGrady, Barry, and Yao, this combination. Nash is in there with McCarty, Stoudemire. Johnson and Hunter are preparing to check back in for Phoenix. T-Mac wants it. He's behind the three-point line. Tracy McGrady with a cold-blooded 3. 33 points for T-Mac. And the Rockets go up 102-96. Nash backing it down. Nash with a turnaround. Missed it. And T-Mac with a rebound. The fourth quarter has been belonging to Houston. They want to keep it that way here tonight. Down to Yao Ming. Yao with a tough pass to Ryan Bowen. What a catch by Bowen. And a foul is called on Nash. What a catch by Ryan Bowen on a difficult pass.
Yeah, he caught the basketball and did a good job of putting it up and getting it up. You'll see it right now. You go inside. Yao goes over, tries to bounce pass. He's slipping down. And he has enough presence to put it on the rim.
Number 2, Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson checks back in along with Stephen Hunter. But right now it's up to Ryan Bowen, who has not been at that free throw line very much this season. This is only the 7th free throw. He's 3 of 6 coming into this game for 50%.
Yeah, but Ryan has been the kind of player, and Jeff's system is getting on a roll. He's come in, he's accepted it. You look at the free throws tonight, 21 for 25. Ryan comes in, he's upped his average, Bill.
So the Rockets increase the lead to 8 points, a 13-3 run by Houston. And a foul is called. Mike James, and for Mike, that's his 4th foul of the game. It's the 3rd team foul on Houston. 3 team fouls on the Rockets, 2 team fouls on the Suns, with 6:53 left to play in the game. Johnson on the perimeter, picked up by T-Mac. Johnson, big crossover, takes it inside. And Tracy McGrady comes out of there with it. Tracy, back to John. Now John's going to give time for the Rockets to get into their play. T-Mac posting up. Tracy, back to Mike James. He'll launch a 3. Mike James with a cold-blooded 3, and Mike D'Antoni has to call a timeout. Here come the Rockets. A 16-3 run by Houston at money time. 6:17 left to play. Look at what the Houston Rockets have done, outscoring Phoenix 21-6 so far in the fourth quarter to take the lead. Tonight's Gatorade Endurance player, David Wesley, who got the Rockets off to such a terrific start. Wesley has played a lot of minutes in this game tonight, 38 minutes with 20 points. But right now, go ahead, Coach.
The Rockets have become an outstanding fourth quarter basketball team from where they were after they blew games in Atlanta and different places.
And the Suns have not scored in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. All right, Nash will bring it up. Joe Johnson. Jim Jackson 7 on the shot clock. Jackson tries to shoot it over Yao. Yao made him change his shot. Barry's really incensed with that call. They're going to give the ball to the Suns with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Sure looks like Stoudemire knocked it out. All right, Jackson will bring it in. Don't give him anything easy. They got 4 seconds to get off the shot. Johnson. He's got to fire one up. It's not going to hit a thing. 24-second violation. How about that Houston defense? And Mike D'Antoni's a little perplexed right now that his team can't get a good look.
Yeah, the Rockets shut down Seattle in the third quarter. Looked like they're shutting down Phoenix in the fourth quarter.
You know, you can explode offensively. You can also explode defensively, and that's what the Rockets have done in back-to-back games. T-Mac rises up and hits again. Tracy McGrady with 35 points. The Rockets pouring it on now. 109-96.
I don't think you can stop the Rockets trying to defend them like Phoenix is at this particular time.
McCarty. Oh, my goodness. Walter McCarty has hit his 6th three-pointer of the game. He's 6 for 9 from behind the arc. That's a new career high for Walter. He's keeping them in the game. 109-99, 5:10 left. T-Mac coming off that pick. Hits the ball. Rises up and hits again. I told you time and time again how he can impose his will on a game. And a foul is called on Houston on Ryan Bowen. Stoudemire beat the Rockets down the floor.
You watch T-Mac come off this play, just physically, he goes up, building, he's just going to shoot it. When you get T-Mac where he thinks he can win the game in the fourth quarter, that's when he's at his best.
Yeah, he's like that racehorse. He smells that finish line, doesn't he, Coach?
I've never seen anybody like him. He just does a great job of finishing games, giving him an opportunity to win. T-Mac knows how to finish.
All right, Quentin Richardson back into the game. Jim Jackson goes out. Stoudemire almost missed the first. He missed the second. He's got 31 and 10. McGrady has 37, 8, and 5. McGrady again on the perimeter. 111-100 Houston. Mike James with 1 extra pass. Buried to the middle. Hooks it up and tipped up by Yao. Yao puts it up. Oh, goaltending is called. That's going to be a 3-point possibility. Count the basket by Yao Ming. Relentless pressure by Yao, the gentle giant, with an attitude tonight.
Come out very, very aggressive. This is the best I've seen him rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end. He's kind of hovering around the basket tonight. Watch it. He's in there close. When it comes up, he's grabbing it and he's finishing it.
Yao, as in wow tonight. 20 points, 16 rebounds. And 5 block shots for the great Wall of Yao. There's a 3-pointer miss. Barry's got it on the run. John will pull it out, give it up to Mike James. Rockets will run a play, leading by 14. This is the biggest lead of the game by Houston. James will back it out. Now I'll tell you, perfect time to take it to Yao. Now he's going to come out and set a pick for James. James backs up, fires, misses everything. Back to Nash. Nash floats one up and in. For the most part, the Rockets have done a great job on Steve Nash. He has 10 points and 10 assists. Over to T-Mac. Tracy. And he draws another foul. He's a magician with that basketball. If he gets it in his hands, he's going to find a way to score, get to the line.
He feels contact, he's going to shoot it, but watch Nash get in the middle. By and large, see that spot right there is a broken line in the lane. By and large, that's where they kept the Suns from getting the basketball tonight, especially in the fourth quarter.
Tracy got to hit those free throws. The one weakness he may have is, I think he gets a little tired, too, because of all the minutes he plays, right?
He's in the top 3 in minutes played in the NBA. I think that happens. He plays big minutes, then he gets to the free throw line. I think he might relax there a little too much when he gets to the free throw line. He's got to be able to step up and make those, but he's going to get fouled in the fourth quarter.
We're getting a little picky. McCarty in and out. Boy, he has 6 threes tonight. That one had a pretty good look.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady is averaging over 25. assists, 6 rebounds. We're asking him to make every free throw. Don't miss any now.
McGrady sets up. Ryan Bowen. Ryan misses. Yao Ming with a rebound. Yao Ming puts it up and draws the foul. The great wall of Yao is dominating the inside. He did it in Seattle down the stretch. He's doing it tonight. He is wearing down the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, you know, somebody said, hey, Coach, I'm not getting enough shots. The coach said, well, go get your own offensive, get some offensive rebounds. That's where you're getting shots. That's what Yao Ming's doing tonight. Offensive rebound.
He just fouled out Walter McCarty. As we told you earlier, Yao Ming has been a real horse, a thoroughbred in the fourth quarter. He's shooting 76% over the last 10 games in the fourth quarter. He gets them both. And there is a Yao Ming fan club, and they're getting their money's worth here in Phoenix tonight, as Yao has 22 points, 17 rebounds.
At practice the other day, the coach just had a little meeting with his team and read them out Yao's fourth quarter stats. You know what he said? Get him the ball.
Yao's got 5 block shots. The 18 rebounds now is a new season high, Coach.
Yeah, not only he's got 5 block shots, but he's altered at least another 7 or 8 shots that they have missed.
McGrady with a big step to the basket. Off the iron, there's Yao again. And Yao is fouled again. Yao Ming is thoroughly dominating this game tonight. And a timeout taken by Phoenix. Yeah, well, the Yao Ming fan club here in Phoenix really getting a show by the gentle giant tonight. Yao Ming with 23 points and 19 rebounds. Now, 3 years ago, remember, he was the #1 choice of the Houston Rockets. And we've talked so much about he and Stoudemire being in that same draft. But there's a difference in domination, the way that you can dominate. And Yao is dominating in the middle now.
Yeah, he's dominating not only with rebounds, with shots, with block shots. That's what's so big tonight.
He changed another one, Coach.
He's just changing shot after shot. Phoenix cannot get anything inside tonight because of Yao Ming.
Now, Stoudemire is 9 of 23, but 5 of those misses have been directly responsible for Yao Ming getting in his face. Mike James puts it up and in, and the Rockets with a total domination. That's 30-9 here in this quarter. Jackson. Bumps off Barrett. Misses. Knocked out of bounds by Phoenix.
So you can bring in a guy like Mike James. He gets you 14 points. I find that so good for this basketball team. I can't say enough about the job that Ryan Bowen has done tonight for this basketball team. His stats aren't great, Bill, but his defense, his hustle.
Coach, the Rockets were trailing by 14 points when Jeff Van Gundy called a timeout and inserted Bowen into the line.
See, why did that change the game so much with a guy that didn't score a lot of points? Because he then came out and he went in as a 4 player, and that helped the Rockets defensively so much.
Tracy McGrady misses on the 3. Barbosa with the rebound, 1:40 left.
See, Ryan was wide open. He looked down the corner of his eye and he said, you know, I think Coach would rather Tracy McGrady shot the basketball than me.
Barbosa with an ugly shot. Richardson back out to Jim Jackson. He'll fire one up and in. And Jim Jackson with his 3rd 3 of the game. But it might be a little too late for Phoenix.
See, if I was Phoenix, I wouldn't worry about what players were playing for other teams like San Antonio the other night. 2 players didn't play. I'd just jump out here and play basketball.
35-15 here in the quarter. Houston. John Barry's open. Hits a 3. What a complete domination by Houston. 38-15 so far in the fourth quarter. Houston has dominated the best team in basketball, record-wise. Phoenix is tied with San Antonio. The Spurs now will go back with the best record in the league. And Yao had a chance for the rebound. How about this line for Yao Ming? He is the Landry Signature Group player of the game. 24 points and 20 rebounds. And that ties his career high in rebounding, 20 rebounds. He will receive a $50 gift card from the Landry Signature Group of restaurants. Hey, Landry's, That deserves more than $50.
Oh, yeah, lenders come out with more. For a guy 7'6", that wouldn't even get him an appetizer.
What a game for Yao.
6 block shots.
His fans have said, we've seen enough. We know who the best player is. Yao Ming.
He is really packing people in on the road. I'm just amazed at how many people are coming out wearing his jersey and actually just to come see him play.
If he makes this free throw, that's going to be a 40, well, it's a 39-point quarter for Houston so far. It's the high point game of the season for Houston, 125. Jim Jackson with the miss, Barbosa. I mean, this has been a dominating performance by Houston. Well, folks, I think the Rockets have all of a sudden inserted themselves, Coach, into the overall elite team in the league playoff picture.
I don't think there's any doubt. We're beat 2 of them on the road, Bill. What else you got to do? And look at the man.
Yao Ming again. 27 points. 23 rebounds for Yao Ming. What a performance. 5 seconds left. And John Barry will just run the clock out. But the Houston Rockets outscore the Phoenix Suns 41-15. Yao Ming with 27 points, 22 rebounds. Tracy McGrady with 38 points and 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Once again, our final score. The Rockets 127, the Suns 107. Our next FSN telecast will be Monday as the Rockets take on the Golden State Warriors. Coverage begins at 9 on FSN Southwest. Stay tuned. The Busch Light Southwest Sports Report is next.
Wow, what a way to start the weekend. A happy Friday night to you. John Radigan, Dana Larson with your Busch Light Southwest Sports Report. We'll wrap up the game with the Suns. We are headed back to the Valley of the Sun to see if Coach Van Gundy has a sunny disposition after this one.
After missing 7 games, the back injury, the Rockets welcome back Bobby Sura. In fact, they welcomed him back to the starting lineup, taking on the Phoenix Suns tonight. First game back since February 23rd. Yao Ming has the ball stripped from him as he falls down. Behind his back now to Juwan Howard. Howard to David Wesley for the 3, and the Rockets with an early lead in the first quarter. Now David Wesley out to T-Mac for the alley-oop at 16-7 Rockets, but the Suns shot 50% in the first half, mainly because of high percentage shots like that. Amari Stoudemire over Dikembe Mutombo. Now former Rocket Jim Jackson to Stoudemire over Yao Ming. Suns on a 22-2 run in the second quarter.
All right, we're still in the second. It's 40-37 Rockets. It's John Barry driving to the basket, passing behind the back. Dikembe Mutombo with the dunk, and the Rockets run a 13-1 run. Steve Nash to Walter McCarty. McCarty buries the 3, his third 3 of the night at that point.
In the fourth now, Mike James driving, misses, gets his own rebound and the layup. The Rockets with a 2-point lead. Now pulling away, T-Mac to James again. James hits the 3. Rockets on a 16-3 run in a dominating fourth quarter. T-Mac to John Barry. Why not? He nails the 3. 124-105 at the time. Let's make it 127-107 for a nice 20-point victory. It's the most points scored this year by the Houston Rockets, and you must check out the line by Yao Ming. 24 points. He also passed his career high for rebounds. A huge night tonight for Yao Ming. T-Mac, the Rockets now 15-1 when T-Mac scores more than 30 points. And the Rockets have now won 3 straight games.
Tracy McGrady with 38 tonight, and Tracy McGrady standing by with our Jeff Hagedorn. Jeff?
All right, guys, thanks very much. T-Mac is indeed here. Can you remember another game this season as intense, as exhausting, or as satisfying as this one here tonight?
No, I really can't. I knew this was going to be a dogfight. These guys are a high-power offense. All they do is run, and you got to bring your A game when you come to play these guys. So our intensity was there from start to finish.
You've often talked about imposing your will on the game. You certainly did that again tonight. 38 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
Well, I just wanted to come out with great energy. I knew it was going to be tough. Like I said, the game before, I want to impose my will throughout this whole season. And it all starts with myself and Yao. So I think the two of us did a great job of coming out, leading our guys, and maintaining that for 48 minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about the big fella for a moment. He did a great job of imposing his will, especially in the fourth quarter. He outscored them 41-15, and Yao wound up with 27, 22, and 5.
That's big. The big fella was ready to play tonight. He did a great job of getting great post position. He was active on both ends of the court. He did a great job of rebounding, getting us second opportunities, and he was finishing as well. So for us to hold him to 17 points in the fourth quarter is saying something real special about our defense.
2-0 on this 4-game road trip. You've beaten Seattle. You've beaten Phoenix. Are you sending a message?
Well, we just we're playing our game. We're letting everybody know that we're for real. Don't take us lightly. We're a team that's coming to play. We're going to bring it night in and night out. So if you're not prepared, then you're going to get beat.
All right, there you go. T-Mac, thanks so much. We appreciate it. And congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, that's Tracy McGrady. Huge night, guys, for T-Mac. 38, 9, and 6. And again, Yao Ming, a huge performance as well. 27 points, 22 rebounds, 5 blocks. Let's go courtside right now. Rockets a winner, 127-107. The guys who called it for you, Bill Worrell and Van Chancellor, are standing by. Guys.
Yeah, Jeff, this was a very impressive win, in my opinion, for the Houston Rockets, because now they have beaten Seattle and Phoenix, two of the top teams in the West, and they've done it inside out, Van. Right now, Seattle and Phoenix have to be a little worried about how they're going to match up McGrady outside and Yao Ming inside.
Right now, the way they're playing, both of them is a matchup for both of these basketball teams. I think right now that with these two wins, the Rockets have moved, in my mind, to one of 6 teams of the elite teams of this conference, the NBA. I like Miami and Detroit in the East, but when you come out here, it's got to be Seattle, Phoenix, Houston, and San Antonio now, because the Rockets are playing some great basketball.
Well, they really are, and it's the way they're beating these teams, too, now. Jeff Van Gundy used 10 players tonight, and they played significant minutes. Everybody's really helping out. Mike James and John Barry did a terrific job off the bench, and don't forget Ryan Bowen.
Yeah, when you come in with James and Barry, and they give you instant offense. James gets it up and down. What a quality backup guard right now for Bobby Sir. And then when you put Ryan Bowen in the game, you put a defensive specialist, a rebounder, and then Barry has no conscience when it comes to scoring and shooting.
The Rockets, as you mentioned now, may be one of the 6 best teams in the NBA. They are among teams that went on the road. I think they're 17-13 now on the road. And keep in mind, they have done this while remaking their team. But now this team looks pretty good for the stretch run.
Yeah, and you look at it tonight, they were just dominant on the boards. And anytime the Rockets are dominant on the boards, they're usually a tough team to beat. That's where you're at when you go on the road, Bill. It's rebounding and defense. This is what the Rockets are very good at. They don't give up a lot of second shots on the defensive board. And tonight, Yao had 9 offensive rebounds. He stuffed a lot of them back in, shot a lot of free throws. If Yao Ming plays like this, look out. Houston's going to be tough to beat.
Boy, you're right about that, Van. John and Dana, I have to go back to the 97 season when Barkley was dominating along with Hakeem and Clyde Drexler. Go even back to 94 when Hakeem was at the height. And go back to the Twin Towers in 86 with Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon to see a team that is starting to roll now like Houston.
All right, Bill and Van, thanks so much. We'll see if they can stay perfect on this road trip when they take on Sacramento on Sunday.
Welcome back to your Busch Light Southwest Sports Report. The Rockets beat the Suns in Phoenix tonight by 20. A huge win for a Rockets team that is in the midst of a tough 4-game road trip, all those games on the West Coast. But this one tonight, of course, a win, 2 in a row on the road out west.
And a huge fourth quarter. The Rockets outscored the Suns 41-17 in that final frame. And to find out what Jeff Van Gundy had to say, we take you back to Phoenix now.
So from today's win, we can know where we are.
You guys, it's never a final destination. Stop asking those questions. You never have arrived until you want it all. So you just got to try to keep improving.
Are we seeing, though, a fairly consistent resilience?
Well, you know what? That game was right there, almost got away from us, down 14. And then we got it, I think, right away to 5. And, we did hang in there. And that's, they were putting us right there at the start of the third.
Jeff, is there a special chemistry developing between Yao and Tracy McGrady, the way they're playing? Because they both had such tremendous games tonight.
I mean, they've had, no more than they had all year,
All right.
Thank you.